lock that when you leave?
Oh, nothing. Just getting ready to leave for work.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of VCC Live. This is Kevin Skipper with our co-hosts Jay DeLuco, Nick Green, and Matt Coley, co-starring Vanessa Carter in the background. It's cool. So what's up, everyone, tonight? How's things going? Matt, Jerry, Bill are already here. We're just a few seconds late. Sorry about that. Well, technical issues, not a big deal. So Jay, what's up, man? How was your week?
I'm freaking busy. Don't talk to me too much.
That's going to be a very short show. We're all busy.
That's what I was going to say, Jay. Damn it.
Do what?
Oh. We're losing Nick.
Nick said, "Is my video?" I didn't freeze. I was acting. That was pretty good acting. Yeah, Nick is
Looks like it's frozen to me.
Oh, there we go. Now you're back.
Okay.
Back again.
I don't know what's going on right now.
You're broadcasting from Potato?
Something.
I don't know why it's so choppy. I pay for really good internet. And every time I run speed test, I'm like, yeah, that is fast internet. And then as soon as I get on a live show, it looks like I'm broadcasting from a potato.
That happens to me, too. It'll show that it's really fast, but then it might be a router or something, too. I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Well, you get choppy Nick. That's what you get.
I think it's because you don't pay your ISP as much money as Netflix pays theirs.
Well, that could be a thing.
So that's how Jay's doing this week. He says don't talk to him much. Matt, what have you been up to, man? It's been a few weeks. How are things?
Things are all right. Went on a little trip last week. The gymnastics meet. That was always interesting. Lots of, stupid parents.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Matt, you look thin, says Rob. Tell everyone what you're up to.
I've only been trying to lose weight here for 5 days, but thanks, Rob.
That's working out.
I've lost like 2 pounds.
Nice. I think I've gained them. No, I'm just kidding. Staying steady.
That 2 pounds was after I used the bathroom, but
nice. Nick, what have you been up to, man? How's things out there in Cali?
Things are good. Just apparently really choppy video out here in California. Not really sure what's going on. Okay, well,
they're probably trying to tax it.
That's probably it. They're trying to tax it as tobacco because apparently
you're
that's
talking
what
about
we do in this state.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, man, things are good. Just busy cranking along, dealing with TPD, the nightmare that is the TPD. But if
2P determined,
I guess it's the cost of doing business. But yeah, otherwise things are good. Busy, starting to get my yearly show schedule ironed out of shows I'm going to attend.
Oh,
so
anything coming up this summer?
That's exciting. Yeah, this summer,
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Are you glad I mentioned?
Isn't that Vape Showcase this summer or no?
No.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, VCC Tampa this summer.
VCC Tampa, June 24th and 25th at the Florida State Fair.
Hell yeah.
Right. Matt will be there as well. Jay, we didn't get confirmed yet, but I'm sure he'll try to come down to Florida in June, take his family to the beach, right, Jay?
Yeah, it depends on how much you pay me, but yeah.
Yeah. The pay is commensurate with experience, so
I have experience at 2 of your shows. Does that count?
We also have no, I'm just going to pass over that and tell you that we have Vanessa as well, part of the Matt and Vanessa. She'll be coming along with Matt from Suck My Mod and Nick Bissett from Daily Vape TV, and I'm talking to a few other people. We'll get some responses from them, but those are the only ones we have announced right now, so that's pretty cool. And
awesome.
I've been just
so with the TPD stuff, Nick. Are you doing like the 3 10 ml bottles in a little box or something like that?
Yeah, we were actually, I'm not trying to brag about my own company or anything, but we were one of the first TPD compliant juice lines. Like we were doing the 5-packs. We were doing 5-packs.
Oh, nice.
We're just trying to get the Grim Cult stuff through, so we're going to be switching over to a 3-pack box. But by the time you get everything on there that needs to be on there, for as far as like warnings and verbiage and all these different languages, your box is 80% warnings.
Yeah.
And you have to have a leaflet on the inside of different warnings in different languages. Nice. So you have a lot of packaging, and there's no room for branding or anything like that.
When we were in England a couple months ago, I saw a few of those, and it is just like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's mostly warnings.
Yeah.
Matt,
it can't look nice and clean. The packaging cannot look nice and clean. It's like impossible.
Nope. Yeah.
Matt, have you ever seen Nick's packaging?
What? Is that a dirty?
Oh, he's making a dick joke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
Well, it loses it if you guys have to explain it. I mean, come on.
I saw him pee on stage at Vape. Was that Vape Slam?
Oh yeah, Vapor Slam.
Yeah. You peed
that was Vape Mania, I believe. But yeah, same event.
You peed in a cup.
I did. I peed in a cup on stage. I had to.
Wow. I did not know that.
It was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
You just
they were doing that, the roast of Grim Green. And so I'm up on stage and all these people are talking, and I'm thinking the whole time, like, my urge to urinate is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I can't like just run off the stage and be like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom real quick and run off stage. So my buddy Flitz was up talking at the podium, and so I used him as like a human shield.
Oh my god!
And like,
that's a very scrawny human shield.
I thought Matt was kidding.
As a human shield, and urinated into a pint glass of beer that I had just consumed.
That's incredible. I thought Matt was
good times.
Flitzy is the worst human shield you could possibly pick. Too.
I know.
He's like a toothpick.
That's okay. He served as a good human shield. I think he was as shocked as everybody else was, because he got a front row view. Like, he looked down and he's like, "Oh, this is happening."
Yeah, so, well, you just upped the ante for VCCT, baby.
Yeah. I don't know where I could go from there. So
all these other shows you go to now, they're going to ask if you'll pee on stage for them.
Bodily functions on stage.
So how would I even get to Tampa? I'd have to fly into Orlando, right? And then like Uber over to Tampa Bay?
Yeah, Tampa's pretty small. We don't have an international airport.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we do. Never mind. I'm sorry. Tampa International Airport. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't get there from here.
Why?
Well, you probably got to take.
I tried a couple of years ago at one of your events, and it wasn't happening. I don't do layovers.
Where are you close to? Boston, Logan, something like that, or
Boston? Yeah, Logan. I can get into Logan.
They don't fly to Tampa.
Welcome to my world, Jay. I have to take like 3 flights just to get to the next city here.
Yeah,
everywhere I go in Montana, I got to take multiple.
And then he hops on the back of a sheep and.
Yeah, ride that bastard all the way there.
Anyway. You can fly directly to Orlando. It's only about, let's see, maybe 45 minutes to an hour from Orlando Airport over I-4.
Yeah,
that's not that far.
That's not bad. Yeah. That's not bad.
And you can see your buddies over at LJE Smokes and.
Well, they're on the other coast, though.
Oh well, you can come a few days early. We have a lot of coasts here, and they're all beautiful.
Sure, just go ahead and
just move to Florida.
Book me up for a week and a half.
All right, so tonight we do have a few things to actually talk about, and I put them in the notes, and I'm sure everyone read them before the show.
Of course.
We're going to talk, just briefly give you guys a couple of updates on a few states, and then we're going to cover, a little bit about Canada, and then maybe we'll answer any questions you guys might have. Don't forget, while you're tuning in live, to smash that like button down there below. We appreciate that, and we'll also post up the replay link on VCC Live on Facebook. So, yeah, Shooters World in Tampa is awesome. I'm a member there. It's a pretty great place. We can go shooting, Jay.
Well, yeah, if Tony goes, I'm going to have to go. That's just the way it is.
All right, so first up, we're going to talk real quickly about what happened in Indiana this past week. And I will go over to the full monitor really quickly here. In case you don't know what SB1 is, SB1 is a Senate bill in Indiana that's attempting to reform some of the complete and utter bullshit legislation that was passed, restricting e-liquid sales from out-of-state manufacturers and coming up with these absurd manufacturing guidelines and security guidelines. I'll just read you a quick bit of the synopsis. Removes date restrictions in the e-liquid statutes, removes the following requirements from an initial e-liquids manufacturing permit: the construction and operation plans for manufacturing facilities, service agreements, security firm specification, projected e-liquid production outputs, manufacturing process verifications, consent for the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission, ATC, to conduct inspections. And the list goes on and on of all the things that they're reforming. And I'll flip over here, and we can see on the action side of it for SB1 that on 2/28, a few days ago, there was a third reading in the Senate, and it passed 49-1. So that's good news, and then it has been referred to the House. So now it's done in the Senate, it's passed the Senate, it has to go to the House and go through a similar process there. And if it passes in the House, then I'm assuming it would be presented to the governor for signature so that they can reform and get some of this stuff fixed there in Indiana. So that's good news. We're starting off on a good news note tonight. That's good news in Indiana. That's progressing. And this is, of course, in the wake of the Federal District Court of Appeals decision to overturn the lower courts upholding of the law. So good things in Indiana happening. I don't. Have you guys heard anything else? Do you know anyone in Indiana that maybe you've talked to this past week about that or read anything about? No?
I know about as much as you. I mean, I think a lot of this shows just how freaking messy it is to try to turn something around once it's a law.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's
yeah.
And also
ridiculous.
how little legislatures pay attention to what it is they're passing before they pass it.
Yeah.
I bet most of them didn't even know, 90% of what they were passing. So anyway, it's good to see that it's finally making its way through. But again, as we talked about in the past on several different occasions in various of the other episodes, it's unfortunate that the industry in Indiana has had to pay the price, and many people have lost their jobs, and many people have lost their life savings and businesses that they've started and stuff in Indiana before they can finally get it corrected. But at least they're heading in the right direction now. So we'll pop back over real quick. So that's the Indiana, and then we'll do another second bit of good news before we go to the New Jersey one. In Arkansas, the Senate panel voted against e-cigarette restrictions, and this is I'll just read a quick snippet of it. It says, legislation that would ban the use of electronic cigarettes in most restaurants and other businesses has failed to clear a Senate committee. The Arkansas Democrat-Gazette reported the bill, sponsored by Democratic Senator Eddie Cheatham, would expand the state's indoor smoking ban to prohibit electronic cigarettes in the same place where smoking is banned. Legislation passed in 2006 allows smoking in restaurants or bars that are open to customers aged 21 and up only. The law prohibits those businesses to employ people younger than 21 and requires them to display a sign warning customers that they'll be exposed to secondhand smoke. Arkansas Department of Health Director Nate Smith says emerging evidence shows the liquid used in electronic cigarettes contains toxic substances. I'd like to see what evidence he's looking at or what he's referencing, because he doesn't say. Republican Senator Scott Flippo says business owners should be allowed to choose to have electronic cigarette use. So that's from Arkansas. It did fail the Senate committee, so it will not be passing on. That's good. Yes, Jay?
I would like to know what committee it failed to pass through and why. Unfortunately, that article,
it wasn't very extensive of an article.
Gives no specific. I think if whoever's in Arkansas, who's part of a coalition of some sort for e-cigs, could find that information out, we all could probably leverage that as precedents for doing some good elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
But unfortunately, that article was very short on details.
Yep, it was. But the gist of it was that it didn't pass the Senate committee, which means it's probably not going forward. And also, I found that quote by the Democrat senator to be just obscene. I mean, I hate it when they make comments like that with no evidence to back it up. There's mounds of emerging evidence that e-liquid contains toxic substances. Mounds from where? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Either you have a source to quote or don't say it. Because quite the contrary, there's mounds of evidence showing that vaping is at least 95 to 97% safer than combustible tobacco.
Right, but he's not comparing it to cigarettes. He's comparing it to purified air.
Well, they are though. Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe the air he breathes is better than the air everyone else breathes. I'm not sure, but just
right.
People shouldn't make statements like that unless they have some facts to back it up, or something that they can cite, or a source that they can cite. And to the same token, I wish I would have found a better article that would have had more information on it, but we got the point out there. So that's the second bit of good news. And then I'll go back over really quickly here again, and we'll talk about New Jersey, which is not so good news. New Jersey's flavored vaping ban plan gains steam despite fiery protests. New Jersey is one step closer to banning the sale of most flavored electronic cigarettes. By the way, this was on, where did this come out? I think this just came out within the last couple of days. The state Senate's Health Committee on Monday voted to approve a bill that would bar anyone from selling the increasingly popular vapor products in flavors other than clove, menthol, and tobacco. The vote came despite more than an hour of passionate opposition from business owners and customers of the increasingly popular vaping industry. I like how they put vaping and vapor and vape shop in a little bit in quotations, which is stupid.
Yeah, and all of which were adults, by the way,
right?
Testifying.
Yep. It says, which has seen stores pop up in countless strip malls across New Jersey. Vaping, again, quote unquote, is the process of pulling on an electronic device that turns flavored liquid, sometimes with nicotine, sometimes without, into vapor. The liquids are available in hundreds of flavors, from chocolate to cherry to bubblegum. Proponents say they're a healthier alternative to tobacco cigarettes and can help people quit smoking. Dozens of supporters protested the bill on the steps of the State House as the committee met Monday. But the long-term effects are unknown. And here's where the media always does it, But the long-term effects are unknown. You know what the long-term effects of smoking are? Death, disease. That's what they are.
You know what the long-term effects of living are?
Death.
Disease.
Oh, Jay, that is such a good point. I love that. I'm using that.
I almost it's just ridiculous the amount of, they can never just say something and leave it at that, for crying out loud. Why can't they just say what they're saying? But they got to say, but the long-term effects are unknown. And opponents say the variety of flavors are attractive to young people and can lead them on a path towards lighting up traditional cigarettes. The most stupid thing I've ever heard from anyone ever in my life, ever.
Come on, Simone. Let's talk about your big butt.
Anyone who vapes it and then tries a cigarette, and I don't think you're going to find anyone that says, that cigarette tastes delicious. Give me another one.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to make a confession. Cigarettes, when I used to smoke, cigarettes after potato chips always tasted phenomenal to me. I don't know.
No way.
I don't know why.
Were they regular tobacco cigarettes, or did they have doobage?
No.
Yeah, I
haven't smoked a doobie since before college, and as proof of that, I just called it a doobie.
Doobage.
I always liked a cigarette after any meal. It always tasted nice.
I always liked a cigarette.
If that's what you're used to, with coffee as well. Anytime that you would traditionally smoke a cigarette, but I'm saying you would not take a vape off of a great flavored e-liquid and immediately take a puff off a cigarette and say that a cigarette tastes better. I just don't see anyone doing that.
Hell no.
And how they can say that it's alluring to kids who are gonna, have a vape on an e-cigarette and then say, I think I'm going to go buy a pack of smokes.
I've been saying that for years. It's a complete false analogy when they pull that shit, because it's like saying, okay, we shouldn't let kids eat chocolate because if they eat chocolate, they're eventually going to graduate to elephant shit.
Right.
Like there's no, they're assuming that cigarettes are somehow superior, and they're just not.
Right.
No. Well, and it's using the slippery slope logical fallacy. There's no gateway to anything. Nothing is a gateway to anything. Right. Everything is its own thing. You can't say that drinking water out of a cup is a gateway to drinking coffee out of a cup, which is a gateway to drinking bourbon out of a cup.
It was for me.
That sounds like a progression through Jay's day.
That's not a thing that's not gateways don't exist. There's no such thing as a gateway anything.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
It's basically just one more of the many reasons to move your ass out of New Jersey.
Yeah. If you're going to smoke a cigarette, you're going to smoke a cigarette. Whether or not you've ever vaped in the past has got nothing to do with it. And it's just bullshit that they keep using this, false logic. I'll continue the article because there's some more great points I think we need to talk about real quickly here. How do I do that? Says the proposed ban, S-298, sponsored by the Health Committee's chairman, State Senator Joseph Vital, I don't know how to say it, comes 8 years after New Jersey became the first state to pass a similar ban of flavored cigarettes in 2008. Kevin Roberts, a former spokesman for Governor Chris Christie, who now represents Logic Technology, the nation's third largest supplier of e-cigarettes, called the measure a quote-unquote premature move before the science is in, quote-unquote, on the product. I would disagree with that statement. There's a lot of science in on it, and maybe Mr. Roberts, I know he's, a former spokesman for Christie and works for Logic. I don't know him, never met him, but I think he probably should maybe read a little bit more of the studies that are out there, especially the Royal College of Physicians report and the one that was published last month in the Annals of Internal Medicine by the American College of Physicians. There's plenty of science in, plenty. I mean, I just don't think that anyone in the vaping industry should be making statements like that. Roberts added that adult smokers do not necessarily want an electronic cigarette that tastes identical to the products they are trying to quit. I would agree with that. Roshan S. Cameron, the owner of Evapify, a vape shop, again, quote-unquote vape shop in Woodbridge, told the committee that barring flavored e-cigarettes is akin to barring candy because of the danger of sugar. Do we have age restrictions on sweets and desserts, even though they can cause diabetes? Cameron asked. He was also, gotta mute my phone. He was also one of numerous shop owners who feared their business would close if the ban was passed by the state legislature. State Senator Robert Gordon, Democrat Bergen, said he's afraid the state is creating an impediment to a very effective means of helping people stop smoking. So, I mean, that's, a Democrat actually spoke up in favor of the vaping industry, which is pretty cool. But Corinne Orlando, a spokesman for the American Heart Association, funded by Big Pharma, I just added that, it's not in the news story, said studies show flavored e-cigarettes are a gateway to traditional smoking. State Senator Jim Whalen, Democrat Atlantic, said he realizes vaping is better than smoking. That's 2 Democrats. Wow. Is there a trend? But we're looking at high school kids, he says. Whalen added, I don't think anyone can argue vaping is good for 13 and 14-year-old kids. What do we do about that? And then it says the bill must now be passed by the full state Senate and Assembly and signed by Christie to become law. What do you do about that? You already have laws on the books that say minors can't buy vapor products. Minors can't buy tobacco cigarettes.
Exactly,
guess what? They're going to do it.
That's exactly what Reason.com posited as a headline as a result of all this shit. They said trying to, something along the lines of trying to save children from substances that they're not legally allowed to purchase anyway. Why ban flavors when the youth aren't allowed to purchase it anyway?
Right.
They're not allowed to buy this stuff. So why are they making this a deal? Well, because they're trying to destroy the industry. Period. There's no other reason.
A deeper issue that our government has been kind of following this logic for decades now, and it's that families don't know how to raise their children, and the government knows better how to raise their children, and that the government should enforce their ideals on how children should be raised, and they're taking, and then families are giving up again more and more of that, excuse like, oh, the government says, the government shouldn't even be the first worry for a child who wants to go smoke a cigarette or vape. It should be the parents.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's where it starts. And
one thing that's always bugged me. Oh, sorry, go ahead. One thing that's always bugged me about the whole, vaping is a gateway to smoking thing is that, in our minds at least, vaping is a superior product, right? So like vaping might be a gateway to more vaping. And yeah, okay, you don't want the kids to vape, but the whole, like how they always connect the two to where, oh, they're going to go vape some delicious blueberry muffins and that's going to make them want, a cancer stick that tastes like my asshole. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make
your sense. Asshole specifically?
No. Matt Cully's asshole.
I have tasted my own asshole, yes.
I think I'm going to release a juice. Can you send me a sample?
I am quite flexible for being so.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous how we get to that point where governments are even now trying to legislate what families should be instilling and what values families should be instilling. Maybe it's pointing to the direction of how parenting has broken down in the United States over the past several decades, or maybe it's just, I think that when people get elected to office, they think that they have to, prove their worth and why they got elected, and they want to get reelected because once you get that little taste of power, of course, you want to keep it. So instead of just doing what they were sent there to do, which is represent the people, they feel the need to pass laws for no reason at all. And I think it's ridiculous. And, adult smokers who are trying to find a better lifestyle and a better alternative that's safer for them than combustible tobacco are going to pay the price for it.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. When your only tool is a hammer, every problem is a nail. And that's what we deal with legislators. Well, that's not mine. That's not mine. That's old.
Little tidbits.
But that's what legislators do. They're paid to legislate. Therefore, every problem can be solved with legislation, and that's simply not the case. It's never been the case.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, the more these legislators stay home and on vacation, the better off we'll all be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it comes to like vices, I think even Albert just said in the comments, people do not realize their liberties are being trampled. I totally agree with that argument, but I think that's a dead argument when it comes to vices. Us as vapors are always talking about they're taking away our rights. Like no one in society cares about that because they've been doing the same thing to other, to drugs, to alcohol, to smoking. I mean, the best argument for us is what it does to small business and the health. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We need to get it out of that same vice category.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and it's a sad truth. I mean, there used to be a day when government, especially at the federal level, would at least pay lip service to individual rights and freedom. They don't even do that. They don't even come close to doing that anymore.
Nope.
They don't even entertain the idea anymore. It's all about numbers and what parts of society need to be controlled and what parts don't. It has nothing to do with individual rights anymore. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Quite unfortunate.
Nick said, "Yep."
It is.
I think we're getting into too big of. I mean, this is a bigger issue than just vaping or just the right to choose or the right to vape or whatever. I mean, it seems to always end up at bigger political issues than we intend to talk about.
Well, we've covered everything we had to talk about in 30 minutes, so we have 30 minutes to bloviate.
Okay, so I was reading something about that New Jersey. I was reading something about that New Jersey ban, and what I was reading said that it included menthol and tobacco flavors.
I read the same thing from Greg Conn.
So
I saw that as well.
It's not. It's every flavor, even tobacco and menthol flavors.
Yeah,
so just PG, VG, and nicotine? Basically?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, that's another way of saying complete and total juice ban.
Yeah, no one's gonna do that. But it is in essence a complete and total juice ban, right?
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
I hope they're organized.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about if anyone knows anyone, any associations in New Jersey. I think there is. I know that there's a New Jersey. Let me see if I can find it real quick. You guys can talk about something else if I can find it. New Jersey vaping, or is it smoke free?
I'm not sure. I know. I do know that there are a good number of shop owners down there that I know pretty well, that I'm sure are involved in whatever political hubbub is going on down there.
I know there's an association, guys. I'll find the link and I'll put it in the replay post of the video. I know there's an association in New Jersey. If any shop owners want to get involved with. If anyone knows in chat, throw it up, please, real quick, and I'll make sure that I put the link in the description.
Yeah, I mean, if that passes in New Jersey, there's no way any shop's going to survive. I mean, the people are just going to have to DIY, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, or buy online or go out of state.
Yeah. Well, or like Scott, CRFO1, concentrates, mix bottle A with bottle B to get,
Yeah, you think they crack down on that, though, like if the same vape shop was selling both. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It makes it so much more difficult for like a new vape. You're already looking for excuses not to quit smoking anyway. Like, it's just like one more complication to what's already kind of overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, our technology is already overwhelming. I mean,
yeah, it is
ridiculous overwhelming. I was on some website the other day, Vapor DNA, and I was just looking at stuff like what products they had. And I was looking at this page thinking, if I was a brand new vapor, I would probably just give up right now. Like there are so many products, and they're so like we assume that people know what an RDTA is.
Yeah.
But if you're not a vapor, you don't know what the fucking RDTA is.
Yeah. And it doesn't even really make sense anyway.
It doesn't really even. I know it doesn't make sense anyway. So
like the device I'm testing right now is the iStick 200 watt 5000 mAh QC quick charge. Like if you were not a vapor at all, you would look at that and just be like, "What the fuck? This is
you'd be like, okay, I'm done trying."
Yeah, and that's why I think it's incumbent upon shops who are the front lines basically for smokers when they want to come in and try products to at least carry some simple beginning products that people can start vaping and transition away from combustible tobacco, and then they can go on these forums and read or watch YouTube videos as much as they want until their heart's content and learn more about the other products that are available to them. It's disheartening, I'm telling you, when you walk into shops and they carry nothing above a 6 milligram e-liquid. That's not going to work for a smoker, a long-term smoker. It's just not. I mean, maybe 6 months down the road after they've transitioned with a 12 or an 18 or something like that, out of a mouth-to-lung setup. But the point is you have to get them first off of the combustible tobacco, and you have to prove to them in their mind that this is going to work. Because I remember when I was a smoker, I mean, it's funny how when you're a smoker, smoking becomes the driving force of everything you're going to do throughout your day. If I'm going to take a flight, I can't smoke before I get past security, so I need to, go smoke 5 cigarettes before I go through security, and then, it's ridiculous how much
it breaks up your day. That's how you plan it out.
If you're watching a movie or something and you don't smoke in your house, which I haven't in years when I smoked, I would go outside to smoke. I mean, it was every 30, 45 minutes. So it really does. And if you're running low on cigarettes and how you start to get that little bit of freaking out in the back of your mind, oh shit, am I going to have enough till tomorrow morning? Do I need to go to the store now? And, it's just, these are the things that we need to get smokers to overcome that and let them realize that vaping is the answer to those questions, and it will allow you to, break free basically from smoking.
Those things, honestly, though, when I first quit smoking, those were the things I missed. Looking forward to the next cigarette, that whole breaking your day up to work, looking at the clock at work. Like I could vape all the time, and like I didn't go stand up anymore and go outside. Like I missed that at first. It like fucked my whole routine up.
Well, you can still stand up and go outside.
I know, but it just have a vape.
I think that's the thing,
dude. It wasn't the same. There was no, and with the cigarettes, there was like a beginning and an end. You didn't have the satisfaction of burning that thing all the way down. You just kept going.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know why. That has nothing to do with our conversation.
Replace cigarettes with apples. Like eat an apple. Stand up, go outside, eat an apple. There's a beginning and an end.
Well, I'm over it now. But it was.
And then when you're done, you flick your apple core.
Yeah.
Flick your apple core at like
step on it
at somebody in the anti-apple lobby.
Yeah, those anti-apple.
Spit your apple in someone's face.
Yeah, Costello West makes a good point. Vaping is similar to smoking. What am I going to take with me for the day every day? That's true. I mean, I just transitioned it over from, what liquid am I putting in today, and am I carrying 1 or 2 mods with me today? But is my battery going to last the day? Is it charged? If it's down to like 30-40%, I'm switching it out for a freshly charged battery. So, I mean, I guess in a sense it does take the place of it, but the health benefit from it is so much better than smoking. So I'd rather I'm okay to have these hang-ups about vaping and wondering if my battery's charged and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys do the same thing. I'm sure you do. I usually carry at least 2 mods on me because I get bored with one flavor and I'll vape the other one for a couple of hours and then I'll switch back.
It's just my life is so. Like I have so many things that I carry now when I leave the house.
Mm-hmm.
Now I carry a couple mods, a knife, a flashlight, my wallet. Freaking, maybe I'll start bringing my guns around. I don't know. Too much shit.
Yeah,
but it's fun. I never really need any of it except for the mods.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I mean, I do the same thing, and I do carry most of the time a pistol in my pocket. So, yeah.
Wow, I'm really boring compared to you guys.
You just have a couple mods in your driver's license?
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm like, I carry a wad of cash, a mod, and I don't like things in my pockets. This is thrilling entertainment. I hate things in my pockets. Like,
you heard it here first,
folks. In my pockets. I generally carry my wallet and I clip my keys because I can't stand things in my pockets. Maybe I should get one of those lanyards, like hang my mod
around my neck tonight.
I just like toys. I like bright, shiny, pretty mods. I like bright, shiny, cool looking knife. Just things.
Right.
Still a stupid kid.
Well, guys, if you're watching now and you haven't hit the like button, please make sure you do that real quick now. I know we have more people on than we have that have liked it, so please do that really quickly. And we pretty much talked about what we had to talk about as far as advocacy-wise. If you guys have seen anything this past week come up, or if you want us to answer any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. We'll be happy to do that. We've got about 20 minutes left of scheduled time. Or if you guys have anything that's coming up that you'd like to mention, Jay, anything going on with Massachusetts, has been a quiet week, or what's going on there with...
Still trying to get everything official. We do have a couple of meetings set up regarding SD 171, which is the bill that would. Which one is this? This bill would create a 40% wholesale tax. So we're actually meeting with the sponsor on the 16th, and there's also a meeting set up, I believe, for next week. With another legislator in Massachusetts, and we're just trying to work out how we would actually attack that guy. So a lot going on, but nothing, no actual progress, I guess.
Sure.
Oh, I did have something on Canada. Bill Tarling was sending me some information before we got started, and there is something going on in Canada. Bill S5. Bill says that it's pretty extensive to close out the vaping through even more so than the FDA deeming regulations. They just try to be more polite when hiding their agenda. So this S5 bill in Canada, let's see, let me pull this article up really quickly here. I thought I had it pulled. Yeah, I do have it pulled up. Okay, so I'll go back to it really quickly. And for any of our Canadian viewers out there, we'll show you this real quick. So this is an article from HuffingtonPost.ca. It says vaping laws keep less harmful option out of Canadians' reach. This is from February 23rd. The Canadian Constitution Foundation released a report titled Vaping and the Law, in which we surveyed and compared vaping legislation from across Canada. The chances are, unless you're a smoker or former smoker, you may not even know what vaping is. E-cigarettes are battery operated. Okay, we already know what those are.
Every time they have to do that.
Get to the meat part of it. I know. What is vaping? Vaping is far less harmful than smoking. Public Health England, an agency of the UK Department of Health, has said that vaping is 95% less harmful than traditional cigarettes. This should not be surprising, as the main factor that makes smoking so deadly is inhaling the carcinogenic and toxic chemicals that are produced when tobacco is burned. It's the smoke that makes smoking so lethal. That's why Public Health England also described e-cigarettes as a great public health opportunity. I'm going to skip down to this paragraph here that says, unfortunately, presented with the opportunity to save the lives of hundreds of thousands of Canadians and billions of taxpayer dollars, governments across Canada have had precisely the wrong instinct to greatly restrict and discourage vaping. Instead of exploring creative policy options that could encourage smokers to switch to much less harmful e-cigarette technology, most of the vaping laws in Canada seem designed to keep smokers addicted to the very habit that is likely to kill them. So that's just a little bit of the article. I'll post a link in the description. But I mean, it's just I find it funny that Canada typically takes a lot of cues. I thought anyway from what Europe was doing and even maybe the United Kingdom. But in this instance, they seem to be following the lead and even maybe being more strict than the United States on this topic. So what do you guys have you heard anything about Canada? What do you think about that?
I think they've always done that. They've always been ahead of the game as far as tobacco control in the U.S. I think maybe a lot of that has to do with some of the moves that they made early on, where taxes for cigarettes in Canada. I remember when I was a little kid, taxes for cigarettes in Canada were like, 10 times what they are. What they were in the U.S. Yeah. And so a lot of people in Canada were already doing the roll your own kind of situation and all that stuff. Again, when I was a child, when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, they were already doing that. So I think they became addicted to those taxes, and they saw vaping as a threat long before the U.S. did. So I think they're kind of ahead of the game there.
Yeah, but a part of me thinks that they would think that they would maybe go the England route too because of
That's
their.
what I would think.
I think that in Canada they I don't know how the government is set up there, but it seems to be a little more accessible. The federal government in Canada. Than it is here, and I think that they got organized at an early enough stage where they are making some good headway up in Canada.
Well, they are, but I think they are having some issues too with their advocacy organizations there. But like to further Matt's point, any country that has a national healthcare system, you think would be a proponent of vaping because in the long term, it's going to save them billions, if not trillions, of dollars in health costs for caring for citizens. Which is why I think the United Kingdom is, stepping on the bandwagon in promotion of vaping compared to smoking. Why Canada is going the opposite direction, it kind of boggles my mind a little bit.
That's the thing with government. It's not always, even with their illogical decisions originally, it's not always a logical decision as to what their public policies are going forward. It's all about political expedience at the moment. It has nothing to do with long-term logic.
Yeah, they could be looking at the short term and that losing the tax revenue would hurt greatly. So, in the long run, yes, it's going to save that country quite a bit of money.
But in the short run, they're losing millions of dollars in tobacco taxes.
But again, I mean, people have to die of something. You know what I mean? So if you're saving them from smoking related illness, they're gonna die of something. Unless the ultimate goal is for everyone to live forever, which I don't think that the government would ever want. They're really just juggling whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, cancer treatment's an expensive way to die.
Yeah.
So what's the preferable way to die? Heart disease?
Heart attack, quick.
Well, I don't think it's ever about stopping death. I mean, mortality is a thing, and we're all going to die. But the point of it is, this is a safer alternative to keep people from premature deaths. And it's, smoking is the leading cause of premature deaths in the United States. I think worldwide, it's the leading cause of death worldwide for premature deaths, which means if you didn't ever smoke or get addicted to the nicotine in tobacco cigarettes, it's less likely that you're going to die before before the expected life span of a male or a female in your specific country. By smoking, though, you're drastically shortening that lifespan, and you're also going to, like Matt said, cancer treatments are expensive. You're more than likely going to bankrupt your family, and then you're going to be a huge tax burden on the government. So it's not about immortality; it's about premature mortality.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we could both pull up some numbers that show that could prove my point or prove your point.
What, that everyone dies of something?
I just think that premature death has nothing to do with it. I honestly think it's just tossing around a political football, to get the government as much cash as possible as soon as possible, and that's it. It has nothing to do with public health.
For politicians, absolutely, and that's the problem.
Extending lives.
All I know is after hearing Jay today, I freaking depressed and feel like I'm going to end it after the show.
Yeah, I'm just a nihilist now.
So morbid, man. Thanks for reminding us all that we're already dead, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing matters. Everyone's going to die.
Next week, instead of having Jay DeLuca under his caption, I'm going to put, "We all have to die of something."
Yeah. It's just nihilism. That's the way to go, Jay. Nihilism. Don't worry, Donnie. These men are nihilists.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Jay's point, though. I mean, the governments don't really give two shits about, what we die of, as long as they get their tax revenue and they can do their pet projects and keep their sad little bit of power for what little bit of their life they have remaining. Unfortunately for us, the peons, the citizens, which it shouldn't be that way, but as we give up our liberties more and more over the decades, that's the way it's become. We let the government tell us.
I do still think that, like in the UK, that's part of the decision, though, because I'm sure they have stats that show how much they spend on healthcare for an average smoker and how much they spend on healthcare for an average non-smoker, and I'm sure it's not just cancer.
I'm sure.
absolutely be the case.
I'm positive they don't sit back in England and say, what can we do out of the goodness of our heart to help our citizens? No, they're looking at cost comparisons. It's going to be cheaper for us to support vaping than it is for us to have people continue to smoke, which means our government's going to have more money and therefore we maintain more power. That's all it boils down to. But I don't care what their reason is as long as they support vaping. And don't trample on our rights to choose to vape rather than having to continue to smoke combustible tobacco cigarettes, which I know people are going to say you don't have to. And to those people, I would say smoke cigarettes for 15 years and then tell me how that goes for you, because I wanted to quit after the first 2 or 3 years after I started smoking and continued for 12. If it was that easy, everyone would do it daily. I mean, there wouldn't be a need for vaping or NRT products or anything like that. You would just say, you know what, one day I'm done smoking and I'm done. It's just not how it works.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as me being a smoker stopped getting me laid, that's when I wanted to quit.
And that was after you stopped smoking doobage?
That's actually probably long before I started smoking doobage.
See, that's when you date. No, it's a catch-22. I was going to say that's when you date a girl that is already a smoker, but when you're a smoker and your girlfriend is a smoker, and when you kiss her and it tastes like an ashtray, that's the worst feeling on earth, I think.
Yeah, well, she's tasting the same thing.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Yeah.
That actually explains a lot of things in past relationships.
I quit smoking for a few relationships and started back up when
I always ended up picking up the brand that whoever my girlfriend was at the time. Like I was a big Camel Light smoker in high school, and then I switched to like 4 different brands as I dated different women. Like whatever they were smoking, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, I also found that I thought like a hot chick that smoked was kind of sexy.
That's like a
because she was bad. She was bad.
She was bad.
Like she.
And now
that's how I feel about girls who do heroin. Now,
yeah, they're living on the edge. You know,
wasn't that a thing like back in the Fiona Apple days? Heroin chic, remember that?
Yeah.
Heroin chic. That was a thing.
90s.
We'll see now when you see a really attractive girl vaping, it's like the same thing. You're just like, yeah, she cares about tobacco harm reduction. So hot.
So hot.
Yeah, no.
And her breath's gonna taste like cake.
Yeah, it's going to be like a bakery
taste like
mouth.
Sucralose.
We're giving ammunition to the opposition. See, look, they're trying to glamorize vaping.
Yeah.
% sweetener. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get a boyfriend, start vaping.
Yeah. Ladies, here's one surefire way.
You and V should
What are we, BuzzFeed now?
I'm sorry, Jenna McCarthy was not hot even when she was hot.
Okay, Jenna McCarthy's was stupid hot back in the day.
I never
agreed.
I thought she was a hot shit. I thought she was hilarious, but I never thought she was hot. Like she was not somebody I'd ever date. Like just not my type. Not my type.
Okay, Jay.
Okay,
I'm not saying I would throw her out of bed. I'm not saying.
Now we know what Jay was the buddy where you were all sitting around as teenagers and would just say every woman was ugly. And
except for Claire.
I had a few friends like that.
Except for Claire Forlani, right, Kevin?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, dude, she's awesome. I just watched Mallrats the other day.
I've never seen Mallrats, believe it or not. I think I've only ever seen her in
so smoking hot in Mallrats. This is great. We should just talk about Mallrats.
Was that the same one that was in Biodome?
Was she in Biodome?
I don't think so. No, she was in Meet Joe Black.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about now.
She was in. She actually had a bit part in that Sean Connery movie, The Rock.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. Now you mention it.
Yep.
Wow, we've gotten way off of the vaping topic.
Really, all over the place today.
Let's only talk about vaping so much.
This is how you turn 10 minutes of content into 60.
Exactly. Join us next week when we're talking about guns, knives, Claire Forlani.
Yeah.
Best show ever.
How we carry our wallet and peeing on stage live at events.
Yeah, we have seriously covered a lot.
Dude, we've covered the gamut this week. If you guys weren't entertained by this one, I don't know what we can do for you.
Yeah, this is it. This is our swan song. We're going down after this.
Is our swan song.
I go down every chance I get.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, don't do that.
I have no comment on that, Jay.
Right.
Let's talk about our quote for a second. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. That was said by Sun Tzu. I'm sure it wasn't said like that. It was probably, in Chinese or Mongolian or whatever it was. But I mean, the gist of it is, vapors need to get on the same page, even though I don't think it's possible for everyone to unite, at least get on the same page and realize that we have to fight the same fight, all of us equally. And being divided is not going to help. So with that said, let's, I meant to do this at the beginning of the program, but I'll do it now. If you haven't already contacted your your federal representative, please do that and have them co-sponsor or at least sponsor HR 1136, because that legislation, which we talked about a few weeks ago, the new Cole Bishop bill that is in front of the House of Representatives, would change the predicate date. It does have a few other things in there. Again, if you want to see that, check back a few episodes and you'll see a whole discussion on it. But we need everybody, Democrat, Republican, Independent, everybody, to contact their representatives and make sure that they at least support, hopefully co-sponsor HR 1136. And I haven't checked that lately, but let me just check and see if we've added any co-sponsors to it. I'm going there now. I'm already there. Let's see. Co-sponsors. No, actually, so far, and I know it takes them a couple days to update it, so if anyone does co-sponsor, but so far it's still sponsored by Representative Tom Cole, Republican from Oklahoma, and Representative Sanford Bishop, Democrat from Georgia. So we definitely need to get more co-sponsors on board with that bill. So again, it's HR 1136. Contact your representatives, ask them to support it and or co-sponsor it. Let's see if there's any questions before we take off.
Oh, right. Yeah, Ryan was asking about the teacher who failed her. Did you guys hear about this? I talked about it in my vlog this week.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
That lady's actually local, Alicia Singleton. I think she's from the St. Pete area here.
There was a student who was assigned, a whole class was assigned. You have to write a paper about vaping, outlining 5 reasons why vaping should be banned. Right. Yeah, this was a curriculum in a public high school. And so what they did, I can't remember the mom's name, Alicia I think. Alicia Singleton. And so what they did was he basically handed in a mountain of testimonials from vapors. Yeah, and included the Royal College of Physicians report. And then, ended up failing the assignment. But evidently she's like taking it up with the school board and is going to go through this whole, bureaucratic song and dance, which I absolutely applaud her for. I think they handled it really well, and I think it's effed in the A that assignment even exists.
Yeah, I think she's a vape shop manager, or I thought she was an owner, but I think she's a manager at a vape shop in St. Pete area of Florida here. And the fact that that's even in a public school's curriculum or a class's curriculum is just absolutely ludicrous. And I applaud them as well for taking the stand on it and providing 250-something pages of scientific evidence and research and reports to the contrary of what the assignment was. So good for them.
That lady needs to be fired.
Yeah,
he absolutely does.
Purely horrible judgment. When I was in high school, if a teacher had handed out an assignment like that and I had turned around and essentially done the exact opposite, but very thoughtfully and systematically, aced it. I would have aced it.
Yeah, most teachers would like you to have, creative.
You're thinking on your own. You're
critical thinking.
They don't want that
problem
anymore.
They want compliance. They would have loved it, but nowadays, nuh-uh.
Yep.
You think my way or not.
Part of that's just like the whole school system, as they've really put kids in boxes, basically.
Well, and I'll give you a different
10,
example.
15 years.
So we're a couple counties north of the St. Petersburg area. I'm not sure if they're in St. Peter or Hillsborough County, but we're in Pasco County here. And my son had an assignment to do a TED Talks. He's in 9th grade. He had an assignment to do a TED Talks style speech. And he chose, he actually has watched a couple of the VCC lives and he's learned a lot of information from them, he said. But he chose to do a TED Talk about the benefits of vaping. And I thought that was pretty cool. And he actually did it today and presented it today. I guess we'll see what his teacher thought of it, or what, if he gets any, discredited or score off for talking about vaping or e-cigarettes. But, I guess it varies teacher to teacher. We can't really criticize, all of them. There are stupid people in every profession. But
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's good. My son's teacher. I'm bringing her a jewel for her husband.
Good. That's
awesome. That's awesome. That rocks.
So yeah, I mean, it goes person to person. What Alicia and her husband and her family have done, I think it's good for them, and it's something that needs to be done. Don't ever be afraid to take a stand against any governmental body or teacher. Teachers work for governmental bodies, so absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting.
Good question, Ryan, and thank you, Nick, for bringing that up because I had.
Yeah. Good call. Good call.
Sorry,
Let's see. Anything else we have? Bill says, back when I was in high school, if I didn't like what the teacher was doing, I either walked out of class or had them fired or sent for more training.
Yeah, that's Facebook grandiose bullshit.
I think that was in like the 1920s or something, wasn't it, Bill? I'm just kidding.
Hashtag that happened.
That's really cool. All right, guys.
That's
I think we're
amazing.
going to wrap it up for tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Again, don't forget to hit that like button below before.
Smash.
Hit smash, beat it up, beat that
Smash it.
like button up.
Smash it. Bend it over and smash it.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys all next Thursday. I think we'll be here next Thursday. Yeah, I should be here next Thursday.
I should be here.
Coming from out of state, so I don't know. We'll see, but probably I'll be here next Thursday. And yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to share the replay link when we get it posted on the VCC Live Facebook page. If you have a vape shop, play these in your vape shop. Give people some content to watch. That's what I consider valuable content and educational. I mean, tonight we learned a lot of cool things, even not about vaping. Who knows?
It's just a life show now.
Teachers should play this show for their students.
They should.
Yeah, definitely.
We only said fuck like 2 or 3 times tonight.
Yeah,
except for that part.
Me talking about what my ass tastes like. That's really deep critical thinking.
Your ass will lead to tobacco use.
We'll have to have Flitz on one week and ask Flitz about his experience at Vape Mania when Nick P.
What is happening?
Yeah.
What
it was like being a penis shield.
That close to the penis.
Would we call it the gangrenous?
Sure.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, that's fine.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Get some smokers off tobacco this next week. Do something positive. Support HR 1136. Contact your representatives. Remember, you don't have to do everything. You do have to do something. Get involved.